You have been lied to about manifestation, especially when it comes to making someone miss you. Not in a dramatic, conspiracy way, but in a very subtle way that keeps you stuck. You have been approaching this as if more effort on your side will somehow trigger a response on their side and make them miss you. And that sounds good. It feels like you are doing something, but look at what it actually creates inside you. It creates effort. It creates trying. It creates this constant checking energy where you are secretly asking, is it working yet? And that energy, that exact state, is the reason they are not missing you the way you want. Sit with that for a second. Because the problem is not that you are not doing enough. The problem is that you are doing it from the wrong identity. Right now, the version of you who is trying to make someone miss you is the same version of you who believes they are not already missed. That is the contradiction. You are trying to create something while constantly being aware that you don't have it. And the moment you are aware that you don't have it, you are living in the state of not being chosen, not being prioritized, not being remembered. That is the state that gets expressed. You don't manifest what you want. You express what you are. So if you are being the person who is waiting, checking their phone, overanalyzing their last message, wondering why they haven't reached out, then even if you say all the right affirmations, your dominant state is still lack. And that is what continues. Now I want you to flip this completely. Not slightly, adjust it. Completely flip it. Stop trying to make them miss you. Instead, become the version of you for whom being missed is normal. There's a huge difference between those two. One is effort, the other is identity. Think about it. There are people in your life you naturally miss. You don't sit there and force yourself to miss them. It just happens. Why? Because of how you perceive them. Because of the place they occupy in your mind. Because of the emotional identity you have associated with them. Now ask yourself honestly, in your own inner world, what place have you given yourself? Are you someone who is easily replaceable? Someone who has to prove their worth? Someone who is lucky if they get attention? Or are you someone whose presence is felt even in absence? Someone who is naturally valued? Someone who doesn't have to chase because their energy lingers? This is not about arrogance. This is about self-concept. If your self-concept says, I am the one who gets ignored, then even if they come back, even if they text, even if things improve temporarily, you will recreate the same pattern again. Because you haven't changed the state. You only changed the situation for a moment. And this is where most people go wrong. They are obsessed with changing the situation without changing the self. You keep asking, what should I do so they miss me? When the real question is, who am I being that makes me feel like I am not already missed? Because someone who knows they are missed does not wake up with anxiety. They don't stalk stories. They don't decode every small action. Their inner conversation is completely different. They think from a place of being wanted. And that is the shift you need to make. From thinking of the relationship to thinking from it. Right now, you are thinking of it. You are thinking about when they will text, what they are doing, whether they care. But the version of you who is already in that desired reality is not thinking like that. That version is thinking from the relationship. They're thinking, we talk. That's normal. They're thinking, of course they think about me. They're thinking, this connection is natural. Notice how there is no effort in that. It feels obvious. It feels normal. And that word is very important, natural. Because if it feels unnatural to you that someone misses you, then no amount of techniques will sustain that reality. You might get glimpses, but it won't stay. So your job is not to force results. Your job is to make the desired state feel natural. And the biggest block to that is desperation. Desperation is not just an emotion. It is a constant inner signal that says, I don't have this, and I need it to feel okay. And the moment you need something to feel okay, you put it on a pedestal. You make it bigger than you. And then you start chasing it mentally and emotionally. You cannot be chased and chase at the same time. You cannot be missed and feel forgotten at the same time. You cannot be chosen and constantly feel like an option. So something has to change. And that something is your internal position. Let go of needing them to text you today. Let go of needing a sign. Let go of needing validation that it is working. Because all of that keeps you tied to the old state. And I know this can feel uncomfortable because the mind will say, if I stop focusing, won't I lose them completely? But understand this clearly. You are not losing anything by stepping out of desperation. You are actually removing the very thing that is blocking your desire. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending. It means you are no longer saying, my happiness depends on their actions. Instead, you are saying, my state is stable regardless, and from this state, everything aligns. When you reach that place, something interesting happens. You stop trying to make things happen, and things start happening. Not because you forced them, but because your state changed. Your energy becomes lighter. Your interactions become more natural. There is no hidden pressure behind your words. And even if there is no contact at the moment, you are not spiraling. You are grounded. And that grounded energy is what creates space for them to feel you again. Because when you are desperate, you are energetically loud in the wrong way. It feels heavy. It feels clingy. But when you are secure, you are present without pressure. And that is attractive on a very deep level. So instead of asking, how do I make them miss me? Start asking, am I embodying someone who is naturally missed? Look at your inner conversations. That is where everything begins. When you think about them, are you imagining absence or presence? Are you replaying what went wrong? Or are you experiencing what it feels like to be connected? Because your imagination is not just fantasy. It is the blueprint of your state. If in your mind, you are always the one waiting, then in your reality, you will continue to wait. But if in your mind, you are already experiencing the connection as something normal, something stable, something mutual, then you start aligning with that version. And here is the key. You don't do this to get something. You do this because that is who you choose to be. The moment you attach it again to so that they will text me, you go back into lack. This is why letting go is so important. Not as a technique, but as a shift in identity. You are no longer the person trying to control the outcome. You are the person who trusts that what you have assumed internally is already done. Creation is finished. You are not creating something new. You are selecting a state and living in it. So select wisely. Select the version of you who is remembered, valued, and naturally missed. And then live your life from there. Go to the gym, work on your goals, improve your lifestyle, not as a distraction, but as an expression of that identity. Because someone who knows their worth does not sit and wait for a message to feel alive. They are already engaged with their life. And ironically, that is what makes people think about them more. Because you are no longer available in that needy way. Your energy is not constantly reaching out. It is centered. It is self-contained. And that creates curiosity. That creates space. That creates attraction. But again, do not do this as a strategy to manipulate them. Do this because it is the truth you are choosing to live in. You are not becoming someone new. You are removing the version of you that was rooted in lack. So from today, I want you to catch yourself every time you slip into the old pattern. Every time you think, why haven't they texted? Gently shift it to, we are naturally in contact. Not as a forced affirmation, but as a reminder of who you are being. Every time you feel the urge to check, pause, and ask, what would the version of me who is already secure do right now? And then follow that. This is how the shift happens. Not in one big moment, but in small, consistent decisions. And slowly, your baseline changes. You stop reacting. You start creating. You stop hoping. You start knowing. And from that state, you don't need to make anyone miss you. They just do. I hope this helped you. Subscribe, and I will meet you with another golden nugget soon. Happy manifesting.